Hi, I'm Tim Carter, AskTheBuilder.com. Have you ever wondered how to put in a plumbing vent flashing or maybe a B vent flashing in a metal roof and want to know how the old time roofers did it when they didn't have caulk? Because caulk is not a proper roof material. Caulk is always going to fail. So don't even think about using caulk. All right, well, guess what? I'm going to show you how to do it right now, but I'm going to do it with some old file folders. Let's get started. This piece of red paper, is just a file folder, and it represents, a piece of the metal roofing. And I don't care what kind of metal roofing you have. It doesn't matter. And up here is the top of the roof. So in other words, it would be sloping, down like this. This would be the direction that the water would travel. Okay, so here's what I've done. Here I made up out of just another piece of yellow file folder and a paper cup. This is a flashing that you might use that could be, like a plumbing vent flashing. And this cup represents the raised part of the flashing that is always humped up above the flat piece of metal. So what has to happen is this, you can see I drew a pencil mark here that represents the halfway mark. And this half of the flashing, in other words, the uphill part of the flashing, has got to slide underneath this part of the metal roof. Now, how do we do that? So, you can use all kinds of mathematics. You have to figure out what this diameter is, and you cut you're going to have to cut a semicircle out of the metal roof, and you actually have to cut some here to get the pipe up through, but I don't need to do that for this demonstration. But the point is, we have to make two cuts. We have to make a slit in the metal roof here, and you can do that with a very, very sharp 1-inch wood chisel. And you have to cut out this so that the metal roof fits around that humped up part of whatever the flashing might be. It could be a flashing for a plumbing vent pipe. It could be a flashing for a furnace. It could be a fresh air vent. It doesn't matter. So what you have to do is, here's the most important cut. The cut in the metal roof, the width of this metal cut must be exactly what the width of the flashing is. It could maybe be at most a 1/16 of an inch wider, because you need to be able to slide it in. You can't have this cut in the metal roof any wider than the flashing. So I'm going to go ahead and make that cut right now. I'll make the two cuts and you'll see what happens. You're not going to believe how simple this is. Watch. So I'm going to put, a piece of cardboard here so that I can, but here, what we have to do first, really important, we need to put I did some orientation marks, so I happen to know that this, where I have the yellow flashing right now, it is centered where that big cut's going to be. So all I need to do is, I've already made a pencil mark over here, so I know where to start the cut, and I need to know over here, where to stop the cut. So I'm going to make a pencil mark right here. And I've got a pencil mark here. I know I'm kind of blocking it. So now I need to make a cut from here to here, and we need to cut this circle out. Let's do it. I'm just using a razor knife since I've got, paper I'm dealing with. You wouldn't be able to use this razor knife, for goodness sakes, up on a metal roof. But I'm just doing this, for my demonstration for you. All right. Now we just have to cut this out. All right. This comes out. I'll get this out of the way of the box. And you can see we've got that cut. And you can see I can flip that up I can flip my hand under here. Imagine this is the metal roof, you know, and then here's your flashing. And so all you have to do is start to slide it underneath the metal roof like this and slide it up, and it's that simple. And that's all it looks like when it's done. You know, in other words, the water flows down, hits here, and then continues on down the roof. You want to make this tight so that if this is tight, if this metal flashing, if you have to kind of tap it lightly with a hammer, that's perfect, because these will be pinholes. And if you've got any type of roof underlayment underneath, you'll never have a leak. There's a really good chance that you'll have to put a screw here, here, and here, and all the metal roof manufacturers make special screws that have neoprene rubber washers underneath them to seal that. But there's no need at all to put caulk under here. You don't have to do that. Remember, this is tilted. You know, it's going to be tilted up on the roof like this. Water's just going to flow right on down, just like it does for any other flashing on an asphalt shingle roof. This is a long-lost secret. This is how the old tinsmiths used to put flashings in on roofs that are 120, 150, 200 years old. It's actually a lost kind of art. So it's really that simple to do. I'm sure you understand exactly what happened here. And by the way, if you have questions, I offer a service where you can talk to me on the phone. Look in the video description to set up a phone call if you want. So what did you think of that? See how easy it is to do? There's nothing to this. The key is to just make sure that that slit you make in the metal roofing is the exact same width of the flashing you're trying to slide up under the metal roofing. You know, that half, because half of the flashing is going to go up underneath the roof and the other half is going to be over the metal roof below, because that's how shingles work and that's how roofs work. In other words, each successive shingle or piece of roofing as you march up the roof overlaps the one below it. So this is something that was done for many, many years. It's one of those secrets that has been lost in the industry. I don't know why, but now you know how to do it. And if you have if you have a seam, you know, some hump in the roof, some ribbing in the roof, there's ways to deal with that. I'm more than happy to answer those questions over the phone and walk you through it. So if you need to talk to me on the phone about any of this, just go into the video description, click the link, set up the phone call. I'm Tim Carter, AskTheBuilder.com.
If you want to discover more home improvement tips, go to AskTheBuilder.com.